Brazil's presidential election will be settled in a second round of voting on October the 30th. That's after no candidate took an absolute majority of votes on Sunday. With nearly all of the ballots counted, former President Luiz Inacio Lula da Silva, who is simply known as Lula, has 48%, while incumbent Jair Bolsonaro received an unexpectedly strong 43%. Moderates and Tebet is trailing with 4%. Lula spoke to supporters in the commercial capital Sao Paulo, putting an optimistic spin on the result.
I always believed that we would win these elections, and what I can tell you is that we are going to win these elections. This is just extra time for us.
The race has proven tighter than most surveys suggested, revitalizing incumbent President Jair Bolsonaro's campaign after he insisted that polls could not be trusted. His surprising showing dashed Lula's hopes of a quick win.
I think we will form a good alliance to win the elections.
Well, Cristiana Amalho is from DW's Portuguese for Brazil service. Tell us a little bit more about this result. I mean, we're going to have to wait a little longer, of course, to see what happens, but were you surprised?
Yes, completely surprised, I guess. It was a big surprise for all the Brazilians. The election polls showed a very different situation, with Lula ahead from Bolsonaro, with a big advantage. So now the analysts are trying to figure out what really happened. I would say there was a higher absence. Many people couldn't go to vote. Like 20%. So I guess this could be because many were fearing this political violence. And also we saw many queues, long time to vote. So many people probably just said, we are not going to wait. So this changed maybe these results.
Lula's currently ahead. He's led Brazil before, but tell us a little bit more about who he is.
Yeah, he was a union leader and very popular. His government in Brazil was really... He left the government with a huge popularity still. And after being accused of corruption, he was in jail. And then after the Supreme Court decided that this was not a fair judgment, he was freed. And now he's the big hope for the Brazilians to defeat Bolsonaro. The followers from Lula believed he would be the right person to do that, of course.
You gave us a little bit of an idea about the election atmosphere before. What's the actual situation like in Brazil at the moment? What's the political climate like going into this next round of voting?
Yeah, there is a big polarization, and now it's going to go still further. The division in the society, I would say. We could expect for the second turn more political violence, more fear from voting, also maybe attacks against the media, as we have seen, against the justice system from the Bolsonaro followers. And I would say that it's now much more difficult to Lula also to run for the second term. But at the same time, we had other candidates like Tebet. She could probably go now offer her support to Lula. Okay. So I guess this could be Lula should win much more support from the other candidates too.
Okay, so things could be looking good for Lula, not so good for the voting atmosphere. It's not the sort of atmosphere you want that's conducive to a good election. But Cristiana, thank you very much for coming in and bringing us your insight into this election.
Thank you very much.